Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, For No Man Buyeth Their Merchandise Anymore. This is from Revelation chapter 18, verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So let me look up the word merchandise. Merchants, I'm sorry. And merchandise. Merchants. Emperors, which means seller. One on a journey, whether by sea or by land, especially for trade, a merchant as opposed to a retailer or petty tradesman. So a merchant is different than a retailer. A merchant brings things from one country to one side of the earth to the other side of the earth in bulk. When Jake was brought over here to serve slavery, we would merely merchandise. But anyway, I'm going to show you something. Yeah, the word there is emporos.
Strong's G 1713, Emperas. Emperas.
There's a saying, there's a term, how does it go? Buyer beware. I forget how you, what is it? It's buyer beware, but it's in, you say it in Latin. Let me do this. The term buyer beware caveat emptor. Caveat emptor. A caveat is a warning. Beware. Emptor is buyer. It's a Latin phrase that means let the buyer beware. So the word, let me come back over here. So that word, you got emperos, emptor, buyer, seller, someone that trades. Let me come back over here. And I'm going to show you something. If China was to call for a embargo against the United States, the United States would be dead, would die. It would be worse than a third world country. Let me look up the word embargo. Embargo, meaning.
Here's the definition of embargo: an official ban on trade or other commercial activity with a particular country.
So if the Chinese government called for a embargo against the U.S., the U.S. would be dead. They'll be dead. You know, when you buy TVs, when you buy cars, when you buy parts for cars, and pretty much anything comes from China for the most part. And there's other countries that Taiwan, Germany, some England, mainly China. So that's the meaning of the word embargo, an official ban on trade. In other words, they don't send anything to you, they don't export anything to you, and you can't export anything to them. Exporting and importing. An official ban on trade or other commercial activity with a particular country. Behind closed doors, Trump calls for a tariff on China, but he's really pulling the full wool over your eyes. But behind closed doors, he's also kissing China's ass. America's kissing China's ass. Let me go to the word tariff. Tariff meaning.
Here's the definition of tariff: a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports.
So, Trump, when he was president, and if he becomes president again, he says, I'm going to put a 100% tariff on Chinese products or Chinese cars. So now the Chinese make cars that you for $10,000, you know, for $20,000, which is brand new. So when Trump says I'm going to put 100% tariff on that particular car, the car will then cost you $40,000. That's 100% to a $20,000 car. So now it might be an electric car. It's $20,000. By the time it comes over here, when it's exported to this, when we import those cars, the U.S. imports some cars. You want to buy the car, the starting price is $40,000. If you were Chinese and you're living in China, you get it for $20,000 U.S. Now you have electric vehicles and so forth, different vehicles that are built in America that you can buy that could cost, the same type of car can cost you $60,000. So you say, well, I'll get a Chinese car, a Japanese car, whatever, for $40,000 instead of paying $60,000. So who's really paying the tax? The U.S. citizen. They're paying the tax because what does the Chinese do? They'll say, oh, okay, you want to put a 100% tariff on a car? When you buy the car, the U.S. citizen will pay the tax. So really, Trump is putting it up where the sun don't shine, so to speak. Because if he really wanted it to where he doesn't want you to buy any, the U.S. says, they're killing the market. You would maybe put a 500% tariff, and that $20,000 car becomes a $100,000 car. Meanwhile, you have a $60,000 car in America. So what are you going to go with? The American car. So Trump wants China to export cars over here. But he wants to get a tax on it, and you're going to pay for it because you don't understand how money works. You people, the inflation, prices going up. You hear inflation. You don't understand how the money system works. So anyway, so that's a little mini economic class, which when I went to economics was one of my electives. It was boring. So now let me come over here. Let me come back over here. Well, let me look up the word merchandise. Merchants. And then we're going to look at merchandise. Completely different word. Let's hear it.
Strong's G 1117. Gamas. Gamas.
Gamas, a lading or freight of a ship. You have a bill of lading. Cargo, merchandise, convoyed in a ship, any merchandise. Who works on a ship, on a merchandise ship? Merchant marines. Marine means water. Merchant items. It says a lading or freight of a ship. Like I said, you have a bill of lading. Let me look that up. Let me do this. A bill of lading, BOL, is a legally binding document that details the transportation of goods between a shipper and a carrier. It serves multiple purposes, including contract. You got a ship that comes from China with the cargo containers, whatever you call it, that carries merchandise, cars, flat screens, whatever, computers, whatever. When the ship comes over there, you get a bill of lading. And it says, okay, you got 200 cars of the same make, model. You got 2,000 flat screens, whether it be Sony or whatever, whether it's because Sony's coming from Japan. So you get that paper and it says, and you have a guy, if you ever worked in a warehouse, I worked in warehouses, man. You check shit, you got the paper right there, the bill of lading, and you taking the shit out one by one out of a truck, and you check. Oh, wait a minute, we're short. So we're not going to pay you. Okay, I'll deduct X amount of money on it. So anyway, that's more of a, a bill of lading, a legal document that issued by a transportation company to a shipper. It details the type, quantity, and destination of the goods being carried. A bill of lading also serves as a shipment receipt when the carrier delivers the goods at a predetermined destination. Like I said, if you worked in a warehouse, which I did, I worked in several jobs where a truck would come in, and I'll be the man. I was a manager. I'll be the guy that check everything. And I have my men. Okay, take all this stuff out. And while they taking it out, I'm checking shit. You know. But so now that we know this, now you know what a bill of lading is. You know what an embargo is. You know what a tariff is. Now you understand the term caveat emptor, buyer beware. So now let's come over here. Let's come back to Revelation 18. Now you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to read through this. The main thing I wanted was like around here. Merchants. Because what's going to happen is Babylon is falling, right? Lament for Babylon. Why are they going to lament for Babylon? Because there ain't no more suckers. This system, this society, America, Babylon, has become a consumer society. Meaning they buy everything. They buy shit without even thinking. Okay, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to breeze through this. Now you got to listen to this in, you go to audio and listen to this in the NLT. Matter of fact, let me do this. NLT dramatize. But I don't want that. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's go to the NLT. We can even go to the BBE, Bible in Basic English, the Fall of Babylon. What Christians are teaching this? That this is talking about the U.S. Anyway, let's go ahead and read it. After all this, I saw another angel come down from heaven with great authority, and the earth grew bright with his splendor. He gave a mighty shout, Babylon is fallen, that great city is fallen. And we know what it's talking about. She has become a home for demons. She is a hideout for every foul spirit, a hideout for every foul vulture, and every foul and dreadful animal. Now, the way High Priest Ariel used to break this down, which he was going off on this part, he said that's talking about when Esau came over here and took the land from Gad, because they're foul spirits. You know what, let me come back over here to the KJV. Second verse. And he cried with a mighty strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So High Priest Ariel said a foul spirit is a mo, is an alphabet person. This goes hand in hand with Isaiah 34 verse 16. I believe Isaiah 13 as well. What John saw was after there's certain movies that start from the ending of the movie. The guy's laying there bleeding to death. And then, he's about to die. And then the movie starts from the beginning. But the movie starts at the end when he's dead, like Carlito's Way. That whole movie was him reminiscing when he kind of came up. It was also, that technique was also used in Bamboozled with Delacroix. If you haven't seen that movie, you should watch that movie. The movie started from the end of the movie, and he's reminiscing back to the beginning of the movie. So that's what John is seeing. He's seeing a movie, but he's seeing the ending of the movie. Then the Most High gonna take him back in the time and show him what it all means. So let's come on back to the NLT. And I'm going to show you something. Damn near everything that you get, that you purchase, it came from China. There's a few things that are made in America. That's why when certain companies, this is made in America, because hardly anything is made in America. And the reason why the U.S. allows China and other countries to ship this stuff in, because it's cheaper, and plus they get a tax. They get a tariff. Everything that comes in from another country, there's a tax on. There's a tariff. Everything. You'd be stupid to be a president or the government and say, "Oh no, you can come and we want to help our American citizens. No, we're not going to charge you no tax." This is why this goes on. All this, the American way. If everybody was truly about the American way, you wouldn't see no Japanese car on the road. You go to Japan, there's no American cars on the road. All the cars in Japan, correct me if I'm wrong, are Japanese cars. So now let's move on. For all the nations have fallen because of I don't like this definition. Let me come back to the KJV. For all nations have drunk, because the nation didn't fall, the nations were drunk. And drunkenness is talking about a philosophy of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Now, fornication means they went to bed with it. They do deals with it. Anytime you have countries that do deals with the U.S. government, they've gone to bed with Babylon. And the kings of the earth, the leaders, the presidents, have committed fornication, meaning they're making deals with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Because this society is a consumer-based society. So the Chinese are happy. They said, damn, we became rich off of these people. Because they buy, even if they don't need shit. They showed you that in the movie. If you didn't watch the movie, I highly recommend you watch it. I got the DVD. I had to go out and buy the DVD. The movie is The Fight Club. Great movie. Anyway, I'm not going to speak on it, but watch the movie. And while you at it, watch the movie Battlefield Earth. Another good movie. I'm not going to go all into it. You can watch it free on YouTube. You can go to your local library and rent and borrow the movie. You don't got to buy DVDs no more or Blu-rays. You can go to the library and borrow it for free. Borrow meaning for free. 4th verse. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Plagues are what? Zechariah 14 and 12. Plagues are the destruction. That's a plague. To come out of her, the 7 used to teach that, oh, we got to get out of here. Everybody got to get a passport because we got to get out of here. And we got to hop on planes and go down to South America. This means that the angel's going to make a call and the elect of Israel will be beamed up in the midst of our enemies. They're going to see us being beamed up. Revelation 11. For her sins have reached unto heaven. Space travel. They're messing up space. You got space junk up there. And the Most High have remembered her iniquities, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she have filled to her double. So what this man did to us, this system did to us, we're going to do double. How much she have glorified herself. And this is talking about the super rich. We're talking about the upper middle class and the lower upper class, the middle upper class, and the upper class. The super rich, the elite. It's not talking about the working class. And live deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, her mind, I sit a queen, and in no end am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Also, Revelation 18 and 7, another precept come to mind is Isaiah chapter 47, starting from the 1st verse. Therefore shall the plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and destruction. That's the fire from the missiles. And she shall be utterly burned with fire from the missiles, for strong is Yahweh that judges her. Lament for Babylon, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her when they see the smoke of a burning. There's going to be 2 places going to be utterly destroyed, completely destroyed. Palestine and the United States. Certain parts of the planet Earth will be damaged because the whole Earth is going to quake. It says standing afar off, meaning they're going to be in their respective countries. And they're going to watch it on the news. Hey, when the World Trade Center took place, it was breaking news all over the planet. It says, standing afar off, for the fear of a torment, and the torment is the fire. It's not no hell. It's the fire from the missiles, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. '11 verse. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. Why? For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Then it goes into a list. If this was a modern list, it would say flat screen TVs, Mercedes Benz. Not Mercedes Benz because they come from Europe. But you would have a list of the things that we get today: appliances, refrigerators, toaster ovens, microwaves, parts for cars. When you go to the dealer, they get a car for anything a part for an American car is made in China. Sometimes it's made in China and it's assembled in Mexico. If everything that we need was made over here in America, let's say you get a part that's $250 from the dealer. Good quality part, made in China, because China make cheap shit and they make quality shit too. Shit. If they were to make it over here in America, everything, the whole process was done in America, that $250 item would be something like $700. That's why they allowed China to export stuff over here. So anyway, I wanted to get into this right here again. 11th verse. And the merchants of the earth, mainly China, but other nations too, shall weep and mourn over her, for no man or woman buyeth their merchandise anymore. Why? Because it's going to be at the end of this consumer society. So now I want to show y'all something. I typed in, you got to go back to Google. I typed in, I think I put in merchandise that China exports to the U.S., something like that. So this is what I clicked on. It says China exports to the United States or United States. China exports to United States was U.S. or U.S. dollars. That's $500 billion. And that's per year. Billion during what? 2023. According to the United Nations Comtrade database on international trade, China exports to United States data, historical chart, and statistics was last updated on October of 2024. That's this month. So this is an update right here, as of this month. Okay, so now let me read this list. Let me read this list right here. China exports to United States. That's why I made a statement. Donald Trump is talking about he's going to do to China. I'm going to give him 100% tariff. Behind closed doors, he's kissing China's ass. Trust me. Trust me. If the United States was about their own and everything's going to be American and we're not going to rely on other nations, and you cut ties with China, this place would be a fucking a third world, worse than a third world's country. China exports to United States, value and year. Well, I guess, okay, I guess from 2012 to the present, it's half a trillion. A trillion is 1,000 billion, so you can understand. Okay? A billion is 1,000 million. Electrical. Most of the shit, if China didn't send you export electrical items to you, you wouldn't have anything, man. You wouldn't have lights in your house. You wouldn't have any of these gadgets, nothing like that. Which the U.S. used to make all this stuff. Electronic equipment. Your smartphone is a piece of an electronic equipment that goes into your laptops, your desktops, your cars, newer cars, have chips in them. Taiwan didn't deliver anything. That's why they're protecting Taiwan, because China wants to get at Taiwan, but America's trying to stop it, protect them, because then China controls that part of the people of Taiwan. They're expert at making these chips, and the reason why they're backing on Ukraine is, well, number one, Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. If I'm not mistaken, I know Russia, but I believe Europe. Ukraine has 55% of the neon gas, because that's from the earth, that comes from the earth. In order for you to put a chip together, you need neon gas. It's like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? You got one bread, you got two slices of bread, and in between that is peanut butter and jelly. That's the neon gas. That's why they were talking about there's a shortage of chips. So it says electronic equipment, machinery, washing machines, refrigerators, anything that's a machine, nuclear reactors, boilers. Everybody needs a boiler. If you have a house, you don't have the boiler breaks in the middle of a storm, you're freezing to death. You can't get no hot water. That comes from China, y'all. Furniture. Anytime you go to buy furniture, or wherever the hell you go to buy some furniture, good chance China made that table, dining set, and couches and so forth. Entertainment centers. Lighting signs. Prefabricated buildings. Now you got buildings. That's why when there's an earthquake or anything happens, a flood, your house falls apart, because it's prefabricated crap. Toys, games, sports requisite. And they're giving you, this is for 2023, right? So Americans have spent almost 30 billion toys, games, sports, requisites. Plastics. Plastics is everywhere. You can't build a car without plastics. Articles of apparel, knit or crocheted. Your sweaters, your t-shirts, your sweatshirts, your hoodies, your fitteds. These American companies here in the States, when they get shit manufactured, they ship everything to China, and China makes it. Y'all don't know, man. You want to do a deal where you selling t-shirts or clothing. You have stores on the East Coast. You got 100 stores. You got to get shit put together. China does it for you. Commodities not specified according to kind. Vehicles other than railway and tramway. You got an American car, them parts for the American car, whether it be a Ford, GMC, Chevy, whatever. All them parts are made in freaking China. Articles of iron or steel. Articles of apparel, not knit or crocheted. Optical. If you need glasses, you need frames, you got to get it from China. Photo, technical, medical apparatus. China called for an embargo against the United States. You're gonna go to the hospital where nothing works. Trust me, the government of this country, they're kissing ass right now. Behind the scenes, they're kissing ass. They're kissing ass. They trying to tell Netanyahu, look, back off. And he keeps going. He's going to lead them into that war. Other made textiles, articles, sets, worn clothing, footwear, gators and the like, organic commercials, or a lot of food, or Whole Foods, right? The 360 brand, that shit is made in China. And it ain't necessarily organic. Organic chemicals. I'm sorry, I said commercials. The hell am I talking about? Organic chemicals. Articles of leather, animal gut, harness, travel goods, miscellaneous manufactured articles, tools, implements, cutlery of base metal, miscellaneous articles of base metal, bird skin, feathers, artificial flowers, human hair, glass and glassware, aluminum. If it wasn't for the Chinese, you wouldn't be able to cook that Thanksgiving turkey. Paper and paperboard, articles of pulp, paper, and board. Ceramic products, wood. They even mentions wood in Revelation 18. Articles of wood, charcoal, rubbers, pearls, precious stones. Doesn't it say that in Revelation 18? It says fine wood, fine wood. Metals, coins, tobacco, and manufacturers' tobacco substitute, miscellaneous chemical products. So they're going to be crying, boy. They're going to be, man, we ain't going to make no more money because America's gone, them suckers are gone. But then the elect is going to come down and we're going to take what they got. Pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceutical products. China called for an embargo against the U.S., a lot of people are going to drop dead because you're not going to have pharmaceuticals anywhere. Inorganic chemicals, precious metal compound, isotope, headgear, and essential oils, perfumes, cosmetics, toiletries. Wait a minute. Come over here. The merchandise of gold. Did not it say we get this from China? Gold, silver, precious stone. Did not they say it on? It's not that on the list. And pearls, and fine linen, clothes, and purple and silk, and flat screens, TVs, and electrical vehicles, and washing machines, and microwaves, and refrigerators, and boilers, and all fine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and of cinnamon. A lot of the stuff that Whole Food get, 360 brand and others, all that shit come from China, man. Essential oils, perfumes, cosmetics, toiletries, stone. Wow, I didn't know China supplied everything to America. Stone, plastic, cement, asbestos, a mica, or similar materials, printed books, newspapers, pictures, railway, tramway, a locomotive, rolling stock, equipment, fish, crustaceans. A lot of this fish that you get is from China. Like salmon. That salmon is it's what do you call it? You got hybrid salmon. That good tasty salmon, which is part ill, and they raise it in on farms which are water, which is it's called a farm. That shit is garbage, but you don't know because you haven't been informed. Crustaceans, that's your niggas love crustaceans. Your crab, your lobster. What is this, Maluk? I guess this is Maluks, whatever. Aquatics, invertebrates, mineral fuels, oils, distillation products, aircraft, spacecraft, vegetables, fruits, nuts, food, preparation. So even China sends food. The food that you're getting, they have a commercial somewhere in the mid Ohio, not Ohio, but Iowa, and this is made in America. No, that shit is that food is fucking made in fucking China. And this food that you eat makes you sick. That's why there's so many hospitals. The hospitals stay full. The equipment in the hospitals come from fucking China. Meat, fish, seafood, preparations, animal, vegetable fats, and oils. Cleavage products. I hope I'm reading that right. Should that be in this category here? carpets and other textile floor coverings, iron and steel, miscellaneous, edible preparations, wadding felt, non-woven yarns, twine, cordage, edible vegetables, and certain roots and tubers, soups, wait a minute, lubrication. Hey, Diddy wouldn't have that oil if it wasn't for China. He wouldn't have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Waxes, candles, modeling paste, base metals. This is outrageous, man. Clocks, watches. And the list goes on and on. When you go to BJ's, just know that everything that you're gonna get, that motherfucker come from China. I'm telling you, behind the scenes, the members of the government, they kissing ass. Trust me, they kissing ass. Cereal, flour, starch, milk, coffee, tea, edible fruits. Beverages, spirits and vinegar. Spirits is liquor. It says they've waxen rich. I mean, that's everything, man. Let's come back over here. So it says the merchandise of gold and silver, we read it, come from China, and precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble, and cinnamon. So you even get food. You think it's grown in America and packaged in America? No, made in China. Even the food. And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine. It says spirits, different liquors, and oil and fine flour and wheat and breasts and beasts, and sheep and horses and chariots, which are your cars, and slaves and souls of men, and the fruit that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee, the merchant of these things which were made rich by her. You know how many billionaires are? There's more. I believe there's more billionaires in China than any place on the planet. Shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple, which they got from China. For in 1 hour, they're going to be crying over the missiles. Breaking news all over the world. Just like the World Trade Center. Trust me, that was breaking news all over the world. And that was in 2021. September 11, 2021. You didn't have news companies like you have now. Everybody and their mama got a news company. There's got to be literally thousands of news companies around the world. And let's not forget the alternative media. And it says when this place goes down, you got to rejoice over her. Rejoice over her, thou heavens, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. So look at that list. I ain't even read everything. Pretty much everything that you get when you go out today and buy something, if you plan on shopping, you're gonna get 100 items. You're gonna go food shopping. You're gonna go shopping at BJ's or whatever, Costco's or Walmart. Everything that you bring home is from China or another country. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next. What I'll do, I'll keep this up and I'll leave this. I'll put it. I don't know if I can put it in the description box, but if I can, I will. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next. Shalom.